Hey, this is Sam Woodill, and you're listening to the Absolute Podcast.
Yeah.
I was super nervous. I did like 3 songs, and after the first one, I was just like, I felt myself just turn bright red,
Oh, really?
and I was just like, oh man.
Were you thinking about your playing too?
Yeah, like I was thinking too much of, like, am I looking
performance wise?
I was just kind of like, am I looking in the right place right now? Like, do I look like I should be playing guitar?
Or do
like,
you look around?
I was so self-conscious. I was like, do I look people in the eye? Do I look around? Do I just pick one spot and stare at it? And then I was just caught in the moment where and then I forgot the lyrics. And then I'm like, oh man. And I keep strumming. I'm like, sorry. Back into it.
Sorry.
Yeah. I better put my phone on silent.
No, it's all good. You get a phone call, we'll just edit it out.
Yeah.
There's no real special occasion.
It's already on silent. I never get calls anyway.
Nobody calls.
I'm gonna pretend like I'm.
Yeah, performing a song takes a lot of guts.
Oh, for sure. I find, like, I do like live streams for my TikTok account, and like that's the only thing I do. I never post TikToks anymore. Like, I just got the followers from there, and then I just started doing lives, and I found it really fun. And then I got into a rhythm of every time I go live, that's when I play guitar and like just practice.
Yeah.
But then it comes to the point where I'm just like playing the same 5 songs because I want to practice and get better at them. And like, it doesn't matter who's watching. They'll just,
I'm into this conversation.
No worries. It doesn't matter who I'm like, who is watching. It'll just be like, they'll get the same 4 songs every time.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh man, I gotta learn some new songs. And
do
like,
some
it got
more.
to the point, like, my friends are like, you know any more songs than that? I was like, I know more songs. I just like practicing those ones. And I like
trying
playing
to get them really
and,
good. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean,
If only everybody at a campfire knew 4 songs. And then
For
like
sure.
you could just pass it on.
I know.
Pass it on.
I love doing, like, I've just gotten into like doing that. Like, me and Sam will both like play some guitar like around the campfire with some buddies, and that's super fun. It's also like fun because we've gotten past the point. There's almost like a point in time where everyone stops like being like, oh, you play guitar, and like making it like, you know, it's like we go and we'll play guitar and sing, and you don't feel regret about singing or anything. You don't feel embarrassed. You're just like, dude, I'm gonna sing this, I don't care. Like, you just like go crazy, and then it starts to sound good, and then everyone starts singing along, and then it's super fun.
That pinnacle point where you're still struggling, and you're still trying to figure it out, and then eventually you just get it, and then you're like, all right, now I can just play enough to make it work. And then
there's
even
almost
if you
like
do mess up, it's not a big deal.
Like, to go back to like going to the Aleworks and playing there for the first time when I was like, did those 3 songs. I just like, you do the first one, and then the second one's like the best one, and then like I get to my third one, I'm like, oh, I'll play this one I've been working on. And then I'm just like, all the confidence goes away, and you're just like, I'm done, I'm out of here. But I was so happy to do it. It's like, it feels cool, even though it's like there's like 10 people there.
Did you just do it for fun, or did you get paid, or
no, it's just for fun. It's an open mic.
Yeah,
so
that's
just
awesome.
go up.
That's really fun.
Yeah.
Honestly, big credit to people at school that did like talent shows and just could sing and play like
in front of a high school crowd, dude.
True.
Everyone just doesn't want to be there. The only reason they want to be there is like to not be in class.
Literally judging hard, like, no matter how good it is.
He sucks, huh? Just yelling. Like, what? Yeah.
Takes a lot of credit.
Yeah.
Takes a lot of guts. I've been telling you for a while that I need to crunch down on guitar. Like, my grandmother that passed away gave me that as a gift. Yeah. And I really need to just like start playing in every hour. Like,
oh, for sure.
For like 2 weeks I played, and I was trying to play Riptide by Vance Joy. Yeah. And I was trying to get that down like dun, 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 dun. Yeah. And I was actually getting it, but then I just like other things happened.
And then you just kind of like, you're like, oh, that only took like 10 minutes to get to that point, and then you're just like, oh, I could do that, and then you never get that time like to do it, even though it only takes a little bit of time. I found that's why, like, I never really took guitar seriously or anything. I still don't take it very seriously. It's just a fun thing to do. I'm not gonna be like an artist or anything. I just want to be able to do it. I want to be able to pick up and play, and you know, I want to get to the point where I can like hear somebody say like, oh, can you play this song, and I can like figure it out.
Pretty much play that song.
Pretty much on the spot, even if it's not all the embellishments and everything. If it's just the chords, that would be sweet.
You hear it? You hear it?
Yeah. They're just like, you play this? They start humming it. You're like, yeah, A minor?
Yeah.
Boom. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget what I was saying.
You're talking about that you want to be able to just pick up a guitar and play. But before that, you were mentioning... You don't take it serious. You just play. I don't know. Does that help you with your learning, do you think, or playing?
Oh, I know what I was going to say. Yeah, the reason why I kind of like started actually playing was in high school, I wanted to play. And I always thought like, oh, it'd be so cool. Like, especially if you could go to the music room and like during music class and you could rip, everyone loved you. Like, and I was just like, dude, I want to be that guy. Yeah. But then you're just like, that takes so much time.
You just see you in the corner, like smacking your foot on the ground.
Like somebody on stage playing, and I'm just like, oh, that could be me. But yeah, and then I figured that once I was out of high school, I think it was there was a weekend I went to Newfoundland to visit Zach at school, and he was playing guitar, and then he had to go to school, like, and do a class, and I had to stay in his dorm room, and I just sat there with his guitar, and I was like, might as well try to start learning. And it was that moment where I was like, I need to learn. So like as soon as I got back home, it was like every day I just practice. And then, like I said, I just like, it kind of meshed in with like me doing live streams all the time. And then I just started learning. And then I like, it feels good when you are playing on a live stream because nobody can actually say anything to you. It's still just you and a camera. Yeah. People are like typing and saying like words of encouragement, which is always nice. And then you just kind of like build confidence there. Yeah. So like I didn't have a lot of that confidence in myself until like I saw it from other people. Yeah.
Do you go back and like look through kind of thing?
Well, like it's a constant thing, and I never got crazy amount of viewers, so like it would sit there. Like if somebody said something, it would just stay there for like 5 minutes, and I'd just be like sometimes can see that. No, it was awful because sometimes I'm just like singing and was like, all right, so that was that song, and then I'll just look at this phone, I'll read the same question, answer it again. While I'm answering it, I'll just be like, I already said this. Like I don't know why I'm repeating the same things again. Yeah, it's awesome when like sometimes they'll just boost you and you'll get a whole bunch of viewers, and then the chat's going crazy and you're not even you're beyond the point where you're reading it and stuck on what they're saying. And
now you probably just turn it on and play, right? You don't even focus on the camera too much just for other people's enjoyment, really.
Yeah. And like through school I stopped doing live streams because it wasn't as convenient. I was like with the roommates and stuff, so always doing other things. I was so busy, but it's more so just like getting a request from somebody and then being like, oh, that's actually a good song, maybe I'll learn that one. And it's like good ideas to learn. Yeah I like guitar. I'm not I wouldn't say I'm like really good in it by any means, but like I like to play.
I agree. I agree. I want to learn. I need to get disciplined and play. But I need to do what you do and just like kind of enjoy every moment of it and not take it too seriously. Like if I'm struggling one day and I feel like I've never made any movement, like it's okay. Like
just stop and be like, you know what? Maybe whatever. Tomorrow.
Like
but do it tomorrow.
Like my dexterity is gonna get better even if the days that I feel like I haven't done anything.
Yeah. Well, like that was it's funny you mentioned that. I find that when I first started playing, my fingers would hurt so bad.
I just feel like
and I could only play for like 5 minutes, but that's good because like you get those 5 minutes in, then you're starting to hurt, then you're like, all right, whatever, I'll play again tomorrow. And then the next time you play, it's like, oh, I can maybe do 6 minutes. And then the next day is a little longer. Now I could just pick up a guitar and play endlessly for an hour without my fingers hurting.
Really?
Because you can see my calluses.
Oh, you can? Yeah, that's wicked.
Yeah, and like I never thought of that being an issue before, and but it's just like you enjoying playing guitar pairs with how you are kind of equipped to play it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you just have fresh baby fingers, you're not going to enjoy guitar too much.
Yeah. I feel like I'm just going to keep folding all these papers here.
It's okay. Man, there's a bunch of anybody that will come and sit on this podcast will realize that there's a bunch of junk on this table to play with, and
I just want to cut.
Dude, what can we make out of this little piece of paper?
Man. But anyway, is there anything you wanted to talk about, like specifically?
No, not really.
Not really.
I was going to mention that you're pretty much self-efficient on food.
Yeah, we can get into that.
Yeah.
So I mean, Woodill Produce.
Woodill Produce. First of all, this is Sam Woodill, everybody. I mean, as you can tell by the title, but Sam Woodill has a company called Woodill Produce. You can look it up. It's all online and everything, right? Good to go.
Yeah. My online site is up. I usually do like online ordering, but I have to update it again. So I don't think you can. I think you can go through with it and like make a payment, which is bad because it'll go through, and then I'll be like, oh crap, I didn't realize it was on. So I need to get on that tonight. But the site is up and everything. But yeah.
Woodill Produce. You grow all your own gardens and yeah, it's actually really amazing. I want to, again, I've said this many podcasts, but I want to film a video with everybody I do a podcast with. So we'll probably film all through that, and you can. You
know what you should do?
We'll run through it.
I think it'd be really cool if you did like, you made just like a video, but it's really just like you said, like podcast, but a video form kind of thing. But just like think of it as just like shooting a podcast and just walking around talking. You don't really have to have cameras. You could start it out just like doing audio, right? And then just walking around and then adding the visuals afterwards, which would be pretty cool.
That would be cool.
Because then like you can talk about new things in the environment, right? That helps me a lot.
Really?
Because like, well, sitting here, I'll just be like, plants. I'll just look at this plant sitting here and be like, oh, and it'll try to spark something. But I feel like if I'm walking around, that takes the nerve off. But I'm feeling good now.
Don't be too nervous. It's all good. I try to make it as comfortable as possible for people in here. So just look at that Geico and you'll be all right.
Oh yeah.
Or Gecko.
Dude, I have one of those too. That's awesome. My parents, my grandparents bought my brother and I those when we were in like elementary school.
Really?
Yeah. I think the Bahamas or something.
We got that from Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
And my parents bought mine and my brother one of those.
Really? Dude, there must just be one guy cranking out geckos down there. He's like, oh, they love it up north.
Yeah, just hitting the hammer off like this thin little metal, painting them.
Yeah.
They got a whole assembly line down there. Yeah. They're like, oh, this one's going to Canada. Yeah. Woodill Produce. You are studying in Truro at Dalhousie AC.
Yep.
For agricultural.
Yep. I'm taking a 4-year ag business program. It's a Bachelor of Science. It's pretty cool because since it's like through Dalhousie, it used to be like Nova Scotia Agricultural College. And so then you'd only get a diploma, but now you can go there and you can go and get like degrees and you can do vet and pre-vet and all that stuff. You can't become a vet there. You could do pre-vet or vet tech and stuff.
It gets you into the vet school.
But yeah. So I'm taking the Bachelor of Science, majoring in agricultural business. I think that's the way you're supposed to say it. I really don't know. They didn't really make that clear to me. But I haven't even asked the right people.
You'll find out at the end of your 4th year.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, this year is my 4th year coming up, and I'm really liking it. I like the smaller campus. I like seeing all the people, but then again, I also don't like the smaller campus because I like being around a lot of new people all the time, and it does get boring after like the first few months of school. You get back into it, you meet all the new people from that year, but then you're sitting there in the winter semester like, ugh, I can't even go outside. It sucks.
Just forcing yourself through the months.
Yeah.
So back on the Woodill Produce.
Yeah.
You started that 2 years ago?
I started that. So, what was it? Last year was 2 years ago, yeah. 2 years ago, Woodill Produce. Yeah, during COVID. Because what happened was, during high school, I was working for a gentleman who had a vegetable farm. And I did that for, like, grade 11 and then the summer for grade 12. And it was fun. I liked it. And then I ended up just renting the land and all of his equipment there. And I did the same thing there. Basically it wasn't Woodill Produce at that point, but it was just doing that on his land. And then somebody else came and now they do it there. So I just moved down to my parents' land, and my brother was supposed to go to work in the States. So he couldn't go because COVID and all the stuff, and he couldn't go across the border because they were locking everything down and everybody wanted to stay. So that whole year it was just Zach home with me, and he was like, hey, I want to help you out with the startup and everything, and we'll get it going. And I was like, and that was honestly such a blessing, because if I had to take on that by myself from the start, it would have been a lot harder to. It would take me another year to get to where I am now. So it's like a little boost, right?
Yeah.
So
we'll rocket ship right away.
Pretty much. Yeah. So I guess this is gonna be my second year doing it just all on my own. He helped me out the first year, and we built a couple little stands for the roadside, and I went to a couple markets. And then last spring, my uncle had an old heifer barn that had blown down in the wind. It was quite old. And so I went in there and I just took all the lumber and I repurposed it. And so it's pretty cool, because where it is where I kind of grew up on that farm in that house. And it was just kind of like a little piece of my childhood that I'm still using for myself now. And so, I took a bunch of wood from that, and for as cheap as I possibly could, I built the little store, and now I have the little store. So
it's amazing. I love the garden. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's a lot of work for sure. But it's totally worth it. I always talk to my mom about it. Like every day, I always talk just like, here's my troubles of the day.
Moms are out there to relieve the stress.
Exactly. It's just like, let me dump this onto you so you can worry about it too. But she's right there with me, help me out mentally. Definitely. This spring I always kind of question myself. I work by myself all day, every day, all summer long. And then
there's perks to that though.
Yeah, definitely. But it's just like so much work to the point where you're just like working from like April straight through to September, October, every day. And just like, I don't know. It's tough because you never see money come in until you start selling stuff. And so you're working so long. And when you're in that part, I always question myself. I'm like, is this what I should do? Because I'm just like, you stress about money and you stress about stuff, and you see all your
questions.
You see your friends are going out on the weekends all the time, and you're just like, oh man, I wish I could do that. But I like being locked down and doing this stuff. And I do have pride in it. But then I realized this spring, I was just kind of like, you know what, maybe this is for me, because I'd go outside and I'd go to the garden and I'd be just pumped. I'd be like, oh, things grew like 2 inches. Let's go. But if I say it to anybody else, I'm like, hey, check this out. Look how the corn's growing. Everyone's just like,
no,
that good or bad?
I'm fully interested. Fully interested.
Yeah.
I stopped by for the 2 hours and you taught me some things.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
I actually just got a chicken coop
nice.
Like last week, and I'm in the midst of setting it all up. I just took it off of there was a old hay wagon that we used to move it from my cousin's place to my place, and we just took it off today. So hopefully by next week I'll have it all set up and with chickens.
How many chickens you plan on getting started?
I'm probably gonna get like 15 to 20.
You're at least gonna have 4 die on you probably.
Yeah, it happens. But I am gonna be getting them like pretty much ready to go, ready to lay. Like I won't get them as chicks. I'm too late past the chick date. But I'm still thinking there's gonna be some loss, but hopefully not.
I think you'll be all right.
Yeah.
And chickens are so easy to take care of too.
Yeah.
Just feed them. Let them run around.
Well, the thing that goes hand in hand with my thing, because I have all the scraps, right, from my vegetables.
Will they eat the bugs?
Yeah, that's a part of why I'm getting them, because I have a lot of problems, and if any of you out there have like cucumbers that you grow in your backyard, you probably have the same problem. And this year was pretty bad for them, the cucumber beetles, and they just rip the plants up. Yeah, so they'll just like, you could go one night and see like one cucumber beetle and be like, okay, we're starting to get them. Let's make sure tomorrow I go and like treat for them or spray them or pick them off or see what I can do. And I can't find for the life of me like a single dust or powder or anything or a spray that will actually take them out really efficiently. So there was like 2 weeks where I was just going every night and just like picking as many bugs off the plants as I could just to control them.
How big are the beetles?
They're really small. Like, but the thing is, they reproduce like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you see one day, and the next day you go down, there's no more plant. It's just like there's no more plant. There's like a million beetles just on where it used to be, and you're like, oh,
what just happened?
Yeah, what crap. So yeah, I've had to replant cucumbers and stuff like that, and cucumbers are probably the worst crop this year, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
The chickens are great though, because what I'll do is I'll, like, during the daytime, I'll just quickly, like, I'll just let them out, and there's a lot of land, and they'll have the space to pick all the bugs off, and they won't even be anywhere near the road or the woods and everything. They'll stick right around.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, yeah, I'm part of a few Facebook groups for like homesteading and stuff, and people always say, yeah, they use their chickens in the garden, but I want to hopefully be able to use them so where they'll eat all the bugs, but I got to be careful because maybe they'll run out of bugs and just start eating the plants.
Is there any crop that they actually like?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see.
Corn?
We'll see. Maybe. I don't think they could get the corn. Too high up.
Yeah, a lot of layers through there too.
Yeah.
Once it gets big enough.
They probably don't even know what it is. They're just like, trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Water there for you too as well.
Oh, awesome.
If you want a drink, I'm going to steal one. Ducks. I think ducks get rid of bugs too as well.
I really want to get ducks, partly just because they're so cool. Like,
they are really cool.
I listen to a lot of like homesteading podcasts just to, like, because I don't know, it's my lifestyle.
Dude,
right?
you love it. That's the community you're in.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
So I was listening to one about there was like a debate they did between a guy who had chickens and a guy who had ducks, and it was all about like, oh, what's the best homesteading animal?
What's the best farm cat?
Yeah. And so there was all these pros and cons, but then at the end of it, it was just like, for me, I was like, I want ducks because they're cool.
They do look cooler. Long necks on them. They're like,
yeah. You ever see the really tall ones? They're like that.
Yeah,
they're like
super.
The runner ducks.
Yeah,
they're awesome. They look so serious.
They walk in like single file lines.
Yeah. My neighbor has one. I think it's always up by the road. There's like a little ditch. They live on one side of the road, and then there's a ditch on the opposite side of the road, and it's a pretty busy highway. And I don't know, they're still alive, but every single day they go from their house, they let them out, and they just walk straight across the road, right to the ditch, and stay there pretty much all day just eating.
Really?
Yeah, just like little tadpoles and little bugs and stuff.
Is there a lot of veg in there or something? But
well, that's the thing. The ducks just love the water. They love it. They actually they need water to eat. They basically, like, they'll take a bit of food and then they'll just like fill their mouth full of water and just kind of like guzzle it down, and they need water because they need to, like, they have those two little holes on the top of their beak. They have to like clean them out or else they'll just crust over and then they can't breathe very well.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What are they eating in the water? A lot of times they dunk their heads.
I don't know. Probably just like little grasses and mosses and like that kind of stuff. Vegetation. I know that they like some little bugs and stuff, but I love watching those videos of like just feeding ducks like the canned corn. It's so funny, just the noise they make. Just
I've never heard that.
It's so funny.
That is funny.
Yeah, I want to get ducks because you can sell duck eggs too, and I guess it's like,
wow.
Yeah, so I'm just curious, honestly. I want to get a couple ducks just for myself, just to be able to try duck eggs and to have them as little companions.
Just have a duck squad, man.
Yeah, I just want a duck named Gerald or something. Jerry.
Just the dumb one. Just like runs around.
Yeah.
Has no purpose at all. Just like
yeah. He's just in there with the chickens. He just thinks he's a chicken. Yeah.
There's got to be one runt.
Yeah.
Long term,
that's a hard thing to think about.
Would you want more animals?
Absolutely.
Would you be more plant-based focused?
I'd be pretty diverse. I think that I do the vegetables as my main big crop thing, because the animals would only be like a few, like it would just be, I'd get it to a point where I have just chores in the morning and chores in the evening or whatever, bring them water and feed them and all that. I definitely do want to get into that though. My dream is to have a setup where I still have my little store and I have somebody that can work there, and then I have
just the online presence as well.
Yeah, I do deliveries, so I want to be able to still do like deliveries and have the storefront, and then do the markets. Maybe it depends where I'm at, because at that scale, hopefully people would come to me, because I want to have I always loved the idea when I was really little about hobby farms,
Oh, I don't. Little farmhouse, and then you just walk outside and you can just
Yeah, but I don't like how it's a hobby, right? I want that to be the lifestyle, and I want it to be profitable, right?
Job farm.
Yeah. So
lifestyle farm.
Yeah,
that's right.
where I used to live, near my uncle's place, there was a lady who had a small hobby farm, and she had peacocks and chickens and goats and the horses and maybe a couple sheep. I don't really remember, but I just loved the goats and the chickens and stuff, and it was just so cool. I was like, wow, you have your own little petting zoo, because what kid doesn't love going to a petting zoo and just seeing all these animals? So what I want to do is I want to have my little stand. I want to do all my vegetables and stuff, but I also want to have a little petting zoo there. I want to have goats, and I want to have some sheep, and I'd probably sell the sheep as lambs for meat. And
man, lamb is so good.
Yeah, so good. So tender.
So good. Tender. Probably one of it's up there for favorite meat. Definitely top 3. It has to be.
It's so good.
So good. Sorry.
Back to your. Well, with those two, I would have wool. I could sell wool to other people, and I could sell it in store. I don't really know if I'd do that. I haven't looked into that very far, but the petting zoo thing would just be really cool, because I love having the animals, and making that an actual profitable thing would be really neat. And I'd probably do a few beef cows and sell some sides of beef. Chickens. I definitely next summer I want to get into doing meat kings, so then I can have meat birds, and I'll probably do a batch of, I don't know, 50 or so, just to try it out. And then if I like that, then I'll be able to keep going with that, because I want to be pretty diverse. I don't want to just have one line of income.
I agree.
And that's the thing about the produce, is that really you're only making money for a few months out of the year. And the rest of the year, it's a lot of prep work, a lot of, just planning, and no income. So if you can kind of extend the season with the greenhouses for vegetables, and then also do some meat. And
how is your greenhouse holding up?
So the greenhouse was, that's Zach's side of the partnership. So after we split off from the year that he helped me out, we got some funding, and so we were able to build that greenhouse, and we do tomatoes in there and lettuce and all that. And so the deal was that at the end of when we split the partnership, I would keep my business, the Woodill Produce, and he would just keep his greenhouse. And so he sells tomatoes and lettuce and whatever he wants to grow in there at a wholesale price to me, and then I sell it on my stand. So it's still I pretty much take care of it. My sister's kind of working for him, helping keep that going, because he's still at school, and he's down in the States working and just all over the place. So yeah, it's kind of in our hands, but respect that it's his thing,
Yeah, exactly. That's nice.
Yeah, I want to get more greenhouses. I'm actually trying to find one. I have one I'm kind of looking at for maybe to get this fall. And then
selling much people and stuff.
Yeah, a few people. I find they're starting to come up now in Kijiji and stuff, because everybody during COVID, everyone was just oh man, I need to be self-sufficient. I need to start doing stuff for my own, and everyone bought little greenhouse kits and all that stuff.
Welcome. This episode is sponsored by Piccadilly Coffee. Piccadilly Coffee has a passion for all things coffee, from bean to cup and everything in between. Sourcing beans from a small farm and cooperatives is a main priority. They also don't use technology and large machines to roast their coffee. They use sight, smell, and sound to ensure that each batch has the best flavor profile. Piccadilly Coffee also roasts in small batches, so their customers are always guaranteed fresh beans. Their mission is to provide the best quality product as well as the best customer service, all while enjoying the Piccadilly coffee experience. Guys, I'm pretty sure coffee is one of the most purchased items in the world. So if you're human and you buy coffee, just shop at Piccadilly Coffee. Support them.
They're amazing. Matter of fact, I don't even like coffee, but ever since I started with them, I've started my addiction. So get at it.
I was saying about greenhouse.
Oh, how much do those go for? How much do those go for?
It really depends. It depends on the size. They're pretty expensive. They're pretty expensive. All things considered, because you got to have a couple layers of poly. If you want to do an actual because you have to inflate between, so that you get an insulating factor. And there's a lot of different options. If you want to do roll up size, don't want to have roll up size, tunnel ventilation, all these different costs. I'm probably looking for a pretty small one. I'm honestly looking for. I was looking at. It was pretty hard last year. It was pretty hard last year. Really looking into building my own and all that stuff. PVC and all that stuff. I think it's kind of just worth it. I think it's kind of just worth it. I find one on until I find one on. Just tear it down, use it again. Yeah, they're pretty expensive. They're pretty expensive. Sometimes they get up there.
Like, what's the average price?
I don't know. I'd say if you want to do a small one, like a typical, like a single person to manage a little 20 by 50 one. You could build one yourself for probably like $5,000. But if you wanted to buy one, then you have it all set up, then you're like 10 grand. Depends how specific and like particular you want to do. Because inside there's a lot of different things. If you want to do tables, then think of the cost. If you want to do metal tables, that's even more expensive. Comparable actually now. Pretty close. Wood's expensive too. Wood's expensive too. But it gets expensive, but it's totally worth being able to plant stuff early, have it into the fall. Yeah, and that's the nice thing about the greenhouse that my brother has. Now that we have it, it's there, and it's there. We can not even heat it, just close it up as it gets colder in the year, and we could grow tomatoes till Christmas, pretty much. As is with no heat. Well, you could. We don't have a heater. We don't have a heater in there, so it's pretty much like set up as a greenhouse. And we're growing hydroponically in the ground. It's just in beta buckets. So that's a pretty cool system. You basically go in there every couple days and mix a new blend of like 1,000-liter toad of water, dump it in. My sister does some trimming every day, and pretty efficient. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to do anything else. Plants grow a foot a week. Yeah. So now we're getting tomatoes out of it now. We're getting tomatoes out of it now because we were a little bit late planting too. Because I was in school, and once I get out of school, then I'll start going full tilt. I don't grow a lot of pumpkins. I don't grow a lot of myself. I squash myself. I grow some. That's the thing September comes and I'm right back into school. Even though I sell stuff September, October, that means I'm running back every single week and doing that.
You did that for the first month.
Yeah.
You did that for the first
month. Yeah. It gets stressful because I'm in soccer too for my school. I play soccer for my school. We start training in August. The last week of August. Bang. And then right into the season. September. On the weekends, I still have games. I come home, I pick vegetables. I go for like 2 hours. I go to a soccer game. Yeah, yeah. So it's super stressful, and then super stressful, and then you get like all of a sudden after the soccer season's done, so is the vegetable thing, and I have absolutely nothing to do, and I'm like, this is boring. I don't I don't know what to do now. Yeah.
It'll be worth it. Once school gets off your shoulders, that'll be a little bit of a, not a burden, but it'll be a little bit of weight off your shoulders for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And then you can focus definitely on the business.
For sure.
Long term, you basically want to have a full lifestyle farm.
Yeah.
Which would be amazing. Like, if you could just walk out your front door and just go take care of the stuff that's all around your property.
Yeah.
And just, like, that's your daily thing.
And that's what I'm loving now is I'm growing more stuff this year. Than I have before, and
you made a big growth, expansion.
Big expansion. I guess. I built. I kind of like got a new field into production this year, and so I'm doing potatoes there, and I am already kind of thinking, like, as I'm going through this year, I'm only just kind of starting harvesting all the stuff, like starting to get some beans and stuff. And now I'm already like so excited about next year, and I'm realizing that I'm really passionate about it. I'm kind of like, well, you know, I actually do like this. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it. Yeah, I am every day. I'm just like, I go outside. I'll have breakfast. I'll just walk outside in my bare feet. And just get be the soil like, between your toes. Yeah. And honestly, lately I've been sleeping in a hammock in my like little shed. Because it's so fun. I love waking up in the morning at like, 7:30.
Do you see that little hole up there?
Yeah, yeah.
And
you used to hammock in here? There? Yeah.
I used to sleep in a hammock for like a year, maybe.
Wow.
6 months.
They're so comfy.
They are really comfy.
I had used the single person one for a while, and then I have a big heavy sleeping bag in it, and it's like thick, so it takes a lot of like space, and so like. For a one person one, it ends up being a little bit too small because I'm a freaking big guy too.
You're a big guy.
And so yeah, now I've been using the 2-person one, and it is so much comfier than my bed. I'm not gonna lie. And I never told my mom that, but she's like, you're crazy for living like, trying to sleep up there. And I was like,
hammocks are good for sleeping because the way it works, and I don't know how this makes sense, but I was reading it. It says it's very good for your back because it takes the weight off your spine.
Okay, yeah.
I know there's still a pressure there,
but it's like pulling. It's like expanding your spine. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know
the way you're laying.
It's
probably not good if you lay face down. You're just like curved out.
Yeah, you're gonna be walking with Gerald the duck, so just like chest out.
Yeah, those ducks, they must sleep laying down.
No, hammocks apparently are good for like like just easy on your joints or something like that. I don't know how
feels
it really
like it.
works.
I wake up in the morning feeling like $1,000,000.
Yeah.
Like I wake up and it's just like I get a cool breeze coming in because it's not fully insulated, my little shed, and I've
never seen the little shed.
It's the one up on the road.
Oh, that one.
The store, like the little store. Yeah, yeah. And you know what? I've just been waiting for the night somebody tries to rob me.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal all your corn in those buckets.
Oh, it would be so funny, just me sleeping in there, and then somebody's just out there getting some veggies, and then I just walk out.
Some extra wood up back or something.
I just walk out and I'm like, you paying?
Cereal bowl still?
Yeah.
It's like your night bowl.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's been awesome. I'll just wake up there. I'll go kind of walk through the fields and see what I need to do for the day, and then go inside, have some breakfast, and brush my teeth, and go out and work. Yeah, it's awesome.
I have a double hammock as well, but I have another hammock that's considered a double hammock, but I think it's way bigger, and it's literally a triple hammock.
Yeah.
Like they said double, but it's huge.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I just feel like I'm like floating in it.
The cool thing about them is with the double ones, you can like the bag, if it's still attached and hasn't ripped off of it, you put a little weight in there, you put your phone in there, and then you just sling it over to the other side, and you're like cocooned right in there.
Yeah. It's amazing.
I'll be like on my phone watching Netflix, right? Just laying there at night. And the worst thing is like, you get this when you're in your house sometimes too, but like just a moth. Just smack you in the face. It's disgusting, and you're just like, "Where's that thing? Where'd it come from?"
Like, and you're like 6 times.
You can't see it, but you can hear it. You can hear it around the room, and it's just around your face. You're like, "Oh, that fucking disgusting little thing! Get it off me!" And June bugs are so bad. That's disgusting as well. The sticky little hands they have.
They're attracted to everything that moves. I swear.
Yeah. Yeah. They see like, it must be like they just love humans or something.
I think they don't know how to fly.
Like, yeah, it looks like they don't. They look so drunk. They're just like kind of like going everywhere, dinging into the wall, and you're like, if you were out in a field, like, what?
Do June bugs have eyes?
Who knows, man? I don't know.
I think they're just a sticky
June
body
bugs
with
are the
legs,
devil, man. I don't think they have eyes or anything. I think they just want to like just feel your hair for some reason. They just like
get stuck in there. I've been like smacked by June bugs.
Oh,
like full tilt, just ding. It's just
like, you're just what was that?
Yeah.
I used to have, you remember I had a little scooter in high school.
Your little ruckus?
Yeah, my little ruckus. And I was driving back. This is like another bug story. I was driving
those bug stories always.
Yeah. I was driving home from school in the afternoon, and it was like, middle of the afternoon, super sunny, super hot, and I'm like in a t-shirt because normally I'd have a sweater on just in case I'd crash, and I didn't want to road rash any of that. But I was like, you know what, today I'm just gonna go t-shirt, and I'm just driving back, what? And all I feel is just right in my chest, and I'm like, ow! And I look down, and there's just a butt of a bee just stuck in me, little stinger and everything, but the rest of the bee wasn't there. It was just stuck there in my shirt, and I was like. And I'm like still driving, and I'm like trying to get this off. I'm like, and I literally, I was like almost to the top of my driveway, and I screamed. I was just like, ow! My dad was sitting on the front deck. Yeah, my dad was sitting on the front deck. He's like, what's wrong? Like when I came down, I was like, I just got stung by a bee when I was driving. He's like, something about those bees.
Yeah, bees are scary. Is it a hornet or like a big bumblebee?
I don't know.
No idea.
You can't judge based off just the butt.
Yeah, it's just a butt. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the thing is, as I didn't know how to like go about taking it out of my skin, because I was just like, does it still sting on the other side?
Yeah.
Is it gonna hurt me? Like, you're just gonna like, ugh.
Yeah, if it actually slips in my finger.
Yeah.
One time I was at the skate park and I had my hands on my handlebars of the scooter.
Yeah.
I was just at the top of the quarter pipe, just waiting for. When the park's all not cleared up, like I'm just waiting for like a runway.
Yeah.
And I was waiting, and the next thing you know, a hornet just lands on my finger, and then it just starts walking around my hand, and then it goes on back onto the finger that it landed on.
Yeah.
And I just watch it sting me.
You didn't think of it, this thing might sting me.
No, I didn't think it. Well, I was scared because I was like, oh, just don't move, don't move. And then like next thing you know, I was like, ow. I like smacked it. Next thing you know, I just had the biggest swollen middle finger ever. It was just massive. It was like, I don't know, but yeah.
Can you imagine being allergic in that moment? You're just like all of a sudden, hey guys, You're just like, I need to go.
You're running.
That would suck.
Our skate park is close to the hospital, so you just you're running up the hill.
Yeah. By the time you get there, you're just rolling. You're so swelled up.
Yeah. Michelin man running down the street.
Oh, one time I got just nailed with like 8 wasps.
Wow.
One time, like.
Oh, I have a story like that too as well.
I was down in a creek bed with my dad trying to find like some nice big flat pieces of rock for like rock walls and like pathways at our house, and so we're just like picking them out of the river and tossing them up on the bank and bringing them in, putting them in the trailer. And so I was like, oh, look at that one. That one looks awesome. The biggest one just kind of hanging out the side of a bank. And I walk over and I just pick it up. And this rock is freaking big. Like it's like 150 pounds. And I'm just like leaning right back, holding the
doing
thing.
The strongman
thing, like doing that thing where you're like, when they pick up the metal ball. Yeah. Like I was like that guy picking up the metal ball on the ground like this, just turning like bread. And I was holding it back. And it's like a slippery stream and everything too. And I'm trying not to get my feet wet, and all of a sudden I just feel like bang, bang, just like in my back. And I'm like, ow, ow. Yeah. And like at first you're just kind of like, you're just like, why are you hitting me?
Yeah,
like, you're just like thinking of somebody that's behind you smacking you.
Or it's just like a little pinch or something. Like,
But then it just starts coming, bang, on my leg. And I was like, oh, and I just threw the rock down, and I'm just like, imagine you have this massive awkward rock. You're trying to like toss it down.
Trying to be calm.
Without hitting it on your feet. And then when I set it down, I see that on the other side of it, on the bank, is just wasps shooting out, just coming out of the bank, and they're all coming after me, and all you hear is just yeah. So I was just like, shit. And I'm just running back, and my dad's just laughing at me, and I'm like, what are you doing? Get him off me. And he comes up and he starts swatting them off my back, and then and of course he's just sitting there counting how many. He's like 1, 2, 3. And you're like, I'm like, yeah, I know I got stung. You don't have to count how many times. Yeah. Oh, it hurt. It hurt so bad. I hate wasps.
Oh, me too.
Can't stand them.
They sting like so many times, just more than once. And when they get under your shirt, that's where the issue is, because they're just stuck there, sort of like.
Have you ever seen on Netflix Man vs. Bee?
I did watch that.
That is so funny, man.
It's kind of
just like when it goes up his pant leg. It's like answering the door.
Yeah.
He's trying to shake his leg.
Just full tilt from the backyard into the patio door. Yeah. And it beats him.
Yeah.
Yeah, just everywhere.
So what's your bee story? What's your story?
Pretty similar. We were right by a river. We were looking for a cool spot to build a fort.
Yeah.
So no, I won't say his name, but you graduated with him. Mm-hmm. I'll blank it out or something. I just don't like the name drop, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're down. We're like, let's build a fort somewhere. So we went to Sussex Corner, kind of along the bluff. Like
yeah. Down there.
We had our axes. We had like some saws and stuff. And we're like, we're going to go build an awesome fort. Like we were so pumped.
Yeah.
Let's go do this. So we go down and we're like hacking trees, taking dead trees, just like throwing them out of the way, trying to get a big clearing, right?
Yeah.
Next thing you know, Jacob likes to tease a lot. Like he loves to joke around and like lie and fib and stuff all the time. So next thing you know, he starts hacking at this tree.
Yeah.
And I think he just like broke into it like crazy.
Yeah.
And then he started going like, I'm not even paying attention at this moment. He's just doing his thing.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, bees. I was like, you're joking. He said bees. Starts freaking out, like literally just saying bees. Just freaking out, like throws the axe like as far as he can. He's like, ah! He starts sprinting up the hill, like we're down like on the riverbank pretty much.
Yeah.
So like we had to run up this hill. And I didn't know if he was serious because I was like, I didn't get stung. He was just beelining it. So I was like, dude, you better be joking. Like I'm like slowly running
just
after
running
him.
Like you're like, did you just trick me into some cardio? Like
what are we doing right now? I was like, I swear, if you start laughing at the end of this.
Yeah.
Anyways, next thing you know, I get stung on my calf like 2 times and then on my back twice. I think I only got stung 4, maybe 6 times, but he got stung like at least 10 times.
Yeah.
And then we sprint, like we got to the mountain bike trail kind of stuff.
Yep.
We just sprinted down that trail until we got to that big cornfield.
Yeah.
You know where that used to be?
Yep.
And we were like freaking out. We're like, oh, like we're still itchy. Like I swear that we could still hear like 1 or 2 just going.
Yeah.
it's like
just
man,
like a couple warning buzzes.
literally. And then he was like, man, I still feel like I have some like on me.
Yeah.
He's like itching his body. He pulled down his shorts.
Yeah.
He still had 2 stuck in him. In his waistband line.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like just 2 and they were literally stuck in them, like they were just hanging. Like a little like a skin tag.
Yeah,
like it was literally just like 2 just hanging off his thing. He's like disgusting. Oh.
That would suck.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, having that one stuck in my chest was enough for me to know like I don't like these things. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, my dad got stung on the ankle. Like a million times, and his ankle just went it just blew right out.
Oh.
And yeah, it was crazy. So mom thinks that dad was allergic. But yeah, I don't know.
I thought I was allergic to like
air.
I thought I was allergic to raw vegetables. Like two summers ago, I was picking like beans and I was just eating the odd one, and like then all of a sudden my mouth went numb. And then I was like, this is weird. I can't feel my tongue.
That's happened to me once.
Yeah, and I was like, this is really weird. And then the next time it happened when I was eating some like I ate some carrots or something, and I ate some beans, and then my mouth went numb again. So I was just like, I don't know, it only happens. And I looked it up, like how come my mouth went numb after like this, and it just like, of course you just diagnose yourself online. It's like,
exactly.
Oh yeah, I'm allergic to beans now. But, yeah, like I've been eating raw vegetables again and nothing happened, but it's super weird. I
wonder if it's a spray that's on the vegetable that just happened to be like some type of pesticide or whatever they have on them before they're washed and just got on your, because I've had my tongue go numb before.
Well, like this thing is I don't spray the beans or anything.
It was your own vegetable.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like
I thought it was just
like I know what's on them.
Yeah.
And like
beetles, man.
Yeah. It's super weird. Maybe I just ate a bug. It wasn't a bean. It was just like a stick bug. Yeah. It's disgusting.
This thing got a little sunburnt, but
yeah. Oh yeah. That's funny. I was thinking about this on the drive up. I was at the market on Sunday. I do markets, and this year I'm going to the Quispam Sis market by the Qplex. If you guys want to go check that out.
Mention that to me. I visited you
on Sundays.
Once.
Yeah.
At Kingston one time.
Yeah. I did the Kingston one before. I never did it last year, but I'm doing. I got back into the markets this year. I didn't do one last year at all. Didn't do Kingston or Sussex, but this year I was approached by a gentleman who started the Quispam Sis one, and he was like, would you be one of the vegetable producers? And I was like, awesome. If that means that, I'm one of the only few, then I kind of have a monopoly there.
Exactly.
And so I go to the market and I set up, and on Sunday I was like, oh, hopefully it's a good day. And then all of a sudden it starts to rain. And I'm like, oh man. And then all my chalk signs too. I gotta keep. I gotta redo them like every single freaking 5 minutes. You gotta get
like little clips, so it's just like a little shield over
a
little tin roof or something.
Yeah, and so that combined with the wind just blowing me away all day. I'm just holding the tent down, trying to keep the water off. But there was
you have nothing to stake that down, really, do you?
Yeah, it's just in a parking lot. So I can't just drive nails down in there.
Just you with the jackhammer.
Yeah, I'm just like, sorry guys. Tink. Yeah, I had a couple jugs. I ended up like tying it down a bit, but it still was like crazy wind, and the wind just picks the freaking thing up like a sail, my tent. And so I'm there and I'm selling some stuff, and a lady comes by with her son, and her son must be probably just like 12 or 13 or so, and he's standing there kind of just looking like, I don't care about vegetables, and she's like, oh, asking about all the prices, all the options, and I was like, yeah,
just look.
And then so yeah, I was like, the prices are there, come on. No, she's like, so how much for your potatoes? And I was like, it's $5 for that bag there. And she's like, that's highway robbery. And I was like, oh yeah, I guess so. Like, what do we say in that situation? I find that's tough when I'm dealing with customers.
That's when you just have to be as respectful as possible.
That's why that's where I'm just like, I've never had a problem selling potatoes, but if you don't want them, that's fine.
Yeah.
And then
that's all you can say. It's funny. Like, I've never had an issue with it.
Yeah. So I just I just leave it at that. I just like, yeah, I guess, kind of chuckle, like take it as a joke.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, no, I guess I won't get anything today. And then she turns around and leaves. But I'm in one of those little blue tents, and I put up the sides on the tent so that keeps the shade out. So people kind of forget that it's not a building, and I can hear them when they're on the other side of it. And so the lady leaves and she walks around to go to the parking lot, and her son just goes, well, Mom, if you didn't want the potatoes, you didn't have to shit on the guy. And I'm just like, yeah, man.
He's got your back.
I was like, yeah, man, awesome.
If you didn't want
trying to make a buck here.
That's an amazing story.
Yeah. I would never have the balls to tell my mom that.
No.
But,
oh my goodness.
But I was like,
I don't think my mom would ever say something like that.
No,
in
same.
The first place.
Yeah. But even
if she did, I'd be like, oh, well, okay.
Yeah. I feel like my dad would be like that, though. He would say, like, I could totally get this for a better deal online. And just like to the person who's selling it. And it's like, Dad, they don't care. They just want to know if you want to buy it. You know?
Yeah. Yes or no. Yeah. Quick exchange.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's hilarious. You didn't have to beat him down like that.
Yeah. Just like he literally said that, and he was like 13. He said shit on him. And I was like, all right, that's a strange dynamic between you two, but
that's funny.
How it is. Yeah.
Hey, you need that kind of relationship with your mom, maybe, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody heard what I just said, but
just yawn.
Maybe. Said maybe you need that kind of relationship with your mom. Just tell her straight up when she's messing up.
Yeah.
That wouldn't go well, but. Well, sir, we have a few minutes left, so is there anything you want to plug or TikTok?
Oh, Instagram. I won't plug my TikTok. You can look it up if you want. It's just my name, but
yeah. Sam Woodill, everybody.
Yeah. Sam Woodill on everything. Check out Instagram, whatever. Woodill Produce on Instagram. Give it a follow. Like the Facebook page. We could totally use some more.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Get some traction on there. Yeah, if you like vegetables, come down to the stand. I'm on Route 121. Just come check it out and come talk. I'm usually around.
Yeah.
And
ask for a tour.
Yeah, honestly, if you're there and you want to see a tour of the gardens, I'm more than happy to show people around. Because that's the thing about it is I try to I have a garden up by the roadside stand just to like, that garden isn't the best soil or anything, but I like to stick some stuff in there just because like you see where it's growing and you buy it there, right? But that's the thing. Everything's tucked away off the road down below on the hill. So I have a lot more gardens than what you can see. Yeah. So, yeah.
It truly is amazing. And guys, now is the time to actually check it out if you can, because
now it's looking pretty.
Yeah, you're watching a kid that's bringing it up too. Like you're just in your, I'd say you're in, you're obviously in your starting phase.
Yeah.
But you still have so much. And as well, it's nice to see like a young guy still figuring things out, but still has so much knowledge that he can also spread to somebody else. You know what I mean? Man. I really mean it.
That's really nice.
Yeah. Thank
really
you.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah. I appreciate it. I really, how do you say that? I don't envy, but I just really appreciate the work that you put in and what people don't see. I like, cause I know what it, I don't know what it, like, I can't relate, but I understand what you've been putting through and like, I don't know.
I guess it's tough for people. Like, I've been trying to get better on that. Maybe next year I'll do more videos. I want to do active like videos of showing, you know.
There's some awesome homestead videos, man. They're so fun to watch.
I want to do them, and I want to start, because I love filming stuff. But this summer I'm doing another project with my uncle for videos this summer. But hopefully next summer I'll be able to do some videos of, you know, this is how to get a bed ready for planting. You know, just showing people along the way, and then people kind of get to see how much work actually goes into the point where you're actually eating vegetables, because it's a couple months of work before that point, and it's stressful.
A lot of different
variables.
You're always working on it. And we'll definitely do a video together. More people will be able to have more perspective.
For sure.
The reason why I want to do a separate video is so people can kind of link the episode podcast, so they can see what it's like. Oh, this is like more raw Sam. And then we'll have a video, and it'll still be raw Sam, but it'll be like, oh, this is more of a conversation, a little more about you, and then we'll do a video based on what we kind of talked about. More in depth, because it's just like, you know, I could try to talk about tomatoes right now, but if you're there and you see what I'm talking about, like, oh, you know, here's the sucker on the plant, then you can kind of understand the visual there. But exactly.
Well,
that's all we have time for.
That's it. Nice,
man, you're a real one. Again, I love you so much. I just like, I genuinely love you, Sam. Too, like, man. You're an amazing guy. Me and Sam have been friends for a little while now, so I can say that to him. It's not weird or anything. So. All right, appreciate having you on.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
No problem.